Hey Commanders fans, get ready because today we have exclusive news about our team and you can't miss a single detail. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, activate the bell to receive everything firsthand, and of course, leave a like to strengthen our fan base and show that we only have true fans here. Our commitment is to always bring you the latest updates, news, and everything that happens behind the scenes of Commanders. So, without further ado, let's check out today's news. Adam Peters may have misinterpreted a Commander's gamble that's aging terribly. Adam Peters believed the Washington Commanders were in a prime position to win the Super Bowl in 2025. The general manager saw his team reach the NFC Championship game, far exceeding expectations, so he was right to be aggressive in pursuing an even better result. Unfortunately, the decline in performance was as drastic as the rise. The Commanders had a 5-12 season that will be remembered for all the wrong reasons. Injuries undermined any hope they had of reaching similar heights, and almost no one stood out positively. Peters now needs to consolidate the team and rethink a major preseason gamble that is proving to be a resounding failure. To the surprise of almost everyone, the Commanders offered defensive lineman Javon Kinlaw a 3-year, $45 million contract with $30 million guaranteed. The decision was met with ridicule from fans and the media, who didn't believe the veteran was even close to being worth that financial investment. The Commanders spent a lot of money on Javon Kinlaw, but he didn't repay the trust placed in him. Based on his performance in his first year with the club, they were right. Kinlaw was always a loudmouth before games, but most of the time he fell short. He didn't get a single sack and became a real problem against the run. That's a bad combination, and he needs to improve significantly if he wants to build a solid future in Washington. It doesn't make sense for Washington to release Kinlaw this offseason. Financially, it doesn't make sense, and they need every penny to strengthen a roster that desperately needs energy and quality. But if the same trend continues in 2026, it will be his last year in a Commander's jersey. Kinlaw stood firm until the end, stating that this was just the beginning and that things would get better. But, as he himself demonstrated throughout the season, words are easy without the necessary substance under the pressure of the regular season. Peters won't let this go unnoticed. He needs a complete defensive overhaul, especially with the arrival of a new coordinator. The choice of Joe Witt Jr.'s replacement by the Commanders will greatly influence personnel decisions. Kinlaw's spot on the roster seems guaranteed, but nothing indicates that he couldn't take on a more rotational role if he doesn't show the desired increase in consistency. If Peters had the chance to go back, he probably wouldn't hire Kinlaw. The Commanders were desperate to find a worthy replacement for Jonathan Allen and ended up paying too much. The worst part, the former South Carolina Star's contract only ends in 2027. The Commanders add one of the best pass rushers in college football in their latest draft simulation. The Washington Commanders need to bolster their defensive pressure this offseason. Fortunately for them, there were several options at the top of the draft to select a defensive end or linebacker. With the 7th overall pick, the Commanders could secure a defensive pillar for the unit. ESPN analyst Jordan Reed suggested the team would select Texas Tech edge rusher David Bailey in his first-round draft simulation. Washington only has 2 defensive linemen, Dorrance Armstrong and Javonte Jean-Baptiste, under contract next season, and both are recovering from injuries that will sideline them for the remainder of the season. The Commanders need young pass rushers, and Bailey was the most productive in the country, leading the FBS with 14.5 sacks this season, Reed wrote. He also had 23 tackles for loss, and his 20.1% pressure rate was the highest among all FBS defenders. Bailey's excellent initial burst helps him get past blockers with ease, and he's a robust defender with a diverse repertoire of quarterback pressure moves and powerful hands. Bailey's performance against Oregon in the college football playoff quarterfinals was one of the best I've seen from any defender this season. David Bailey should be on coach's radar. Besides Miami's Ruben Bain Jr., Bailey could be the best pass rusher in the draft. If Bain is available at the 7th overall pick, the coach should select him without hesitation. However, there's a good chance he'll be chosen by one of the top 6 teams. Bailey is far from a consolation prize, as he could be an excellent pass rusher in the NFL. Bailey had 14.5 sacks and 19.5 tackles for loss in his All-American season with Texas Tech. The NFL Draft is scheduled to take place from April 23rd to 25th in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Ben Johnson immediately silenced the noise surrounding the controversial hiring of Commanders. The Washington Commanders caused a stir by promoting David Blau to replace Cliff Kingsbury as offensive coordinator. Fans wanted a bigger name with prior experience, especially considering the high expectations for Coach Dan Quinn in 2026. However, there is confidence in the environment that the team is anticipating events. This is an opinion also shared by Chicago Bears coach Ben Johnson, who gave Blau his endorsement with a glowing recommendation that should give confidence to fans who are still skeptical about the appointment. Blau has no experience calling plays. He was only an assistant quarterbacks coach until the final weeks of the season, when Tavita Pritchard took over at Stanford. It's a risky bet by Quinn, but it could be a masterstroke if everything goes according to plan. Ben Johnson believes the Commanders hit the jackpot with David Blau. Johnson shared the same opinion. He worked with Blau on the Detroit Lions, so he saw firsthand how much of an asset he will be. He also believes that a possible opportunity to be a head coach could arise in the near future, should he be able to handle these additional responsibilities. He's very smart. He has a natural way of connecting with everyone, both the coaches and the players. They've also found tremendous value in him. I think he'll do an exceptional job in that role. I think he's really smart. Having played quarterback, he has this intuition for how to help raise the level of the position, And I think he'll be able to do that as an offensive coordinator in the future. So I think he'll be one of those young guys who earn the head coaching job before you know it. Bears coach Ben Johnson is very enthusiastic about the Commanders' new offensive coordinator, David Blau, whom he coached as a player in Detroit. He's one of those young guys who will soon be in a head coaching position. The Commanders saw something in Blau. They acted decisively when the Lions approached him for the offensive coordinator position, avoiding the temptation to talk to high-profile candidates like Brian Daboll and Mike McDaniel. That should say all the fans need to know, and Johnson's comments only increase the anticipation about what this hiring can do for Washington's offense. Maintaining some continuity around quarterback Jaden Daniels also influenced the decision. The tactical scheme will change, and the coaching staff already looks different. Johnson is a big fan of the hiring, and fans are starting to support it. There was surprise, of course, and this could go very wrong. But the fact that Quinn is practically betting his job on someone who has never coordinated the offense says a lot. And everyone connected to the Commanders hopes Johnson is right about Blau. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like that helps our work a lot, and comment "Go Commanders" below to show the strength of the fans. Your support is essential for us to continue bringing you all the news, updates, and information about the Washington Commanders. Thanks so much for watching, and Go Commanders!